I'm Pete Huff. I'll be out here today with Chase Parsons, Keith Cavias, chasing crappies mainly, and an occasional walleye or northern on the tip-up. And we're Ice Team, and we're in Fox Lake, Wisconsin. Bring it!
Fox Lake can be found in southeastern Wisconsin, smack dab in the middle of rolling farm fields and protected wetlands. It's a relatively small lake at just over 2,600 acres, but what it lacks in size, it makes up for in numbers of quality game fish. Local guide Pete Hupp and Ice Teams Chase Parsons and Keith Cavias are focused on the Fox's impressive crappie population using small jigs tipped with maggots called spikes. Never wanting to pass up other good fishing opportunities, the anglers have also scattered a number of tip-ups rigged with shiners in hopes of hooking a sizable northern pike.
Here it comes. Watch that spring bobber. There it is. There it is. The spring bobber bobbed. Ooh, feels like a decent one. He thinks he's a decent one anyway. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. It was fun. This old spring bobber. This is a great little rod for this because these fish are biting really, really light. But with that little spring bobber on the end there, you know, just a little deflection is all I'm looking for. I'm not even really feeling the bites. Just seeing that little bit of a deflection, getting these fish perfectly. Dingle drop. Little red piece there and a little spike on there. Equal crappie.
This one's coming in white. He must be pretty nice. There. Negative bite, sure. Ooh. Oh, dandy. Woo. Dingle drop. 3 red spikes.
Fishing for crappies isn't a complicated matter, but using the right equipment can definitely make a difference in the number of fish you put on the ice, as Keith explains.
This is a jig called the Dingle Drop. It's actually a jig from the Clam Pro Tackle series. And what it is that the name kind of describes the jig. The dingle part of the name is simply this little chain and bead that hangs down here. And when you're jigging that gives you a little bit of extra movement and a little bit of extra flash because it's kind of a holographic bead. The drop part of it means that anything in the Clam Pro Tackle series that has drop in its name means it's tungsten. And tungsten is a very good thing to use for any kind of panfish, but especially crappies. Tungsten is heavier than lead, so it's going to allow it to drop down quicker. That's really nice if you get in a school of hot crappies, want to get that jig down quick. But maybe more importantly, that heavier weight is going to keep all of your line nice and taut or tight down to that jig, so that even the lightest bite of a crappie is going to be felt up here at the rod or seen on the spring bobber. So going up from the dingle drop, the next thing we're going to have is our line that's connected to it. Here I'm going to use fluorocarbon, you know, a very clear line. This is 100% fluorocarbon. I use 2-pound test for that. I use about 1.5 liter of that, and then I come down to a swivel here. And this swivel connects my fluorocarbon to my main line. I'm using 4-pound test there. The next thing is the rod you want to look at. I want to use an ultralight rod for crappies. You know, they're called paper mouths for a reason. They have a very sensitive or not a real strong mouth. So when you set the hook, you don't want to be tearing out the hooks out of their mouth. But one real important thing that's on this particular rod, this is a 24-inch rod, is this built-in spring bobber. So whether you've got a built-in one, nice built-in one like this, or you've got one that you add on, spring bobbers are real important for crappies because a lot of times all you're going to see is that bobber just moving a little if it bites that jig real lightly. Sometimes when they're in a negative bite or a real neutral bite, you'll actually see where the fish takes it and it actually moves that spring bobber up. That's the fish eating in an upward direction. So you want that spring bobber loaded just a little. If it moves up or bounces down, that's a bite, set the hook. Hammered it. Oh, here he is. Oh, nice crappie, nice crappie. Oh yeah. Look at that one, that's a nice one right there. Oh, on the bomb spoon. He didn't take too long to commit. He came flying in and a little shake there and whoo, just crushed it. Real nice crappie there for Fox Lake.
Ice Team Tactics, brought to you by Arctic Cat. Share our passion.
You know, I'm looking at the GPS and I don't really see like a specific reef or any real big structure areas in some of these areas we're fishing. What's holding these fish here? Why do you think these fish are in these areas?
It's the silt on the bottom here. We're in the main basin of the lake, just off the drop. Maybe earlier in the day they'd be up there, but now they're in the basin out here on the silt eating bloodworms. So we're just out looking for the schools with drilling a lot of holes, and once you find them, you can kind of stay with them.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like they're definitely schooling up. You hit a pot of them,
right?
You catch quite a few of them, and then you kind of got to move along with the school, like you said there.
Exactly.
In some of these areas too, there's some sporadic weeds in some of these areas we're fishing. I mean, obviously that's something you want to look for as well. Make sure you stay on these schools because they definitely move around. But I'll tell you what, you can go out there, catch a bunch of them, have a lot of fun.
Hey Chase, we got one standing out here just running.
Oh yeah, let me help you.
He's going.
He's going too. Look at that.
Ooh.
He's got some weight to him?
Yeah, he's all right.
Nice.
We'll see, he's head shaking.
And he was pulling hard right away.
What
do we got?
There he is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's a decent one too.
Yeah,
he's not very happy. He saw us.
No.
He must be ugly.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh yeah,
yeah,
look at that.
Nice. Look at the color in that one.
No
Wow.
wonder you had trouble getting it up there. That thing's about as big as the hole.
Wow. Bad fish.
Man, that is a nice fish. I'll tell you what, Fox Lake, I don't live too far from here, but this is the first time I've been out here. That's pretty impressive to be able to come out here and catch pike like that.
Yeah, they have a lot of them. 32-inch size limit, and that keeps a lot of the bigger ones in
Wow,
here.
nice, very nice. Well, let's get this thing unhooked, huh? He's ready.
There he goes.
A couple of weeks ago when I was talking to Pete, kind of doing a pre-trip strategy discussion, you know, the first thing that came up was, well, what are we going to be fishing for? And he said, well, out on the Fox Lake, boy, we could really catch anything. I mean, we'll probably be going for crappie, we'll get some perch, some bluegill, probably some walleye, some northern pike. And that's a common issue, I'll call it, when you go out ice fishing. Many times you're fishing for a lot of different species. And unlike our big boats that we use in the summer, where we've got tons of storage, in these shacks and on the sleds, you don't have all that storage, so you gotta be compact. And when you want to go for a lot of different species, that can be a real issue. So two things that I've found that really help me out with that is, first of all, getting a good bag to carry your rods in. This is the Clam Rod Locker. The thing I like about this is it's got two separate sides with a divider. So on this side I can put my panfish rods. You know, right now I got 4 in there, but you could probably store 6 or 8 in that side. Then on the other side you got another zipper, and on that side I put my walleye rods. So I can carry all my rods in one bag. They aren't getting beat up, I ain't breaking the tips, but yet this fits nicely in the back of my shack. Now the other thing that obviously you have to store is your tackle, and that's where I like these little jig boxes here. You can see they come with a nice foam insert. You can plug your baits right in there. These things are nice because you can actually then organize your bait based on what it is. Maybe in one you've got your panfish lures, maybe in another one you've got your tungsten lures, maybe in the fourth one you've got, you know, your walleye lures. So you have nice separation and you can carry lots of lures in a small compact place. So when you go on a multi-species trip like we're on here, this equipment can keep everything nice and organized so you're ready to catch anything.
Oh, there's a mark. Oh, got him. Here. Oh. Get the transducer out of the way, he's already up. Oh, it's a walleye. Oh. Bonus walleye right there. You know, using the bomb spoon, and I had a lot of marks coming up, and they just weren't taking it, but that bomb spoon, and man, this one's got it swallowed here. Let's see if we can get it out. What it does is it just adds a little bit of action to your presentation, and yeah, he definitely wanted it. I'll pull it out here and show you. What it's done is just basically gave me a little bit more action than a typical tungsten jig or something. And this walleye here, man, he saw that, and I just stopped it right there and just gave it a little jiggle, and he crushed it. So very cool, nice bonus walleye. You know, I love catching walleyes, and it's kind of unexpected when we're going after these crappies. You know, we've really been catching a ton of fish today, and there's literally been fish on the graph pretty much all day long. but it's been very important for us to really focus in on the trigger effect, basically what's making these fish commit. And the jig cadence has really been key. There's been a few things that we've done throughout the day, and this may change 3, 4, 5 times throughout the day and what you're gonna need to do to get these fish to bite. At periods of the day, some of the things that would get us to get these fish on the ice were basically when that fish would come in on the graph, you'd start lifting it like you usually would and then really erratically shaking the rod right in the fish's face, letting that spring bobber do a lot of the work. And that would basically attract those fish into committing and biting. Of course, you did that for a while, caught a bunch of fish, and then things changed. Whether it's the sun comes out, whether it's clouds, it could be a variety of different things, but the mood of the fish changes throughout the day. And basically what we did then is when those fish weren't relating to that quick, erratic shake, we would actually be lifting those fish, and believe it or not, a steady hold was getting a lot of these fish to commit. I mean, there's really a bunch of different jig cadences that can attract fish. Make sure you pay attention to which one is actually getting those fish to commit, because it's going to allow you to catch fish throughout the entire day.
Ooh, that's a pig. There, dingle. Very nice fish. Very nice crappie, black crappie. He smoked it, wow. Look at the color. We're gonna let him go.
When planning a trip to Fox Lake, make sure you include a stop at Best Damn Bait. From minnows to waxworms, owner Pete Hupp can even hook you up with a guide trip. Call 608-609-2707. For one-of-a-kind dining and lodging on the shores of Fox Lake, there's no better place than the Boathouse Pub and Eatery. For more information, visit them on the web at boathousepubandeatery.com. Ice Team would like to thank the following partners for their support: Clam, Bring It, Ice Armor, Thorn Brothers, Custom Rod and Tackle, Arctic Cat, Share Our Passion, Jason Mitchell Elite Series, The Original Mr. Heater, Recycled Fish, Vexillar, Cabela's, the world's foremost outfitter, FishUSA.com, America's Tackle Shop, Nebulous, emergency flotation device, Vicious Fishing, Zippo Outdoor, Bass Pro Shops, Catula, and Gander Mountain. We live outdoors.